What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the Warsheep Podcast, where today we're going to be discussing a few things about, once again, relationships. I would have thought we would have moved past this by now and made some sort of progress, but apparently we're still stuck in the same spots. Like, even after the Kevin Samuels, even after the Andrew Tates, even after all these men of the world who have brought forth so much valuable information to help women identify the true problem within themselves, it just seems like we're still stuck in the same type of conversations. But today, we're going to go ahead and dive into a few other things that really made the Passport Bro movement what it is now, and how it's flourishing now even today, because of the simple fact that we can't get our shit together here in the States, right? So these are a few more reasons why men should travel abroad.
Is the sheep preaching hate when he says, I'm not going to let the wolf eat me anymore? If the wolf comes in here, next time he comes in here, I'll do whatever I have to do to keep him off my back. Is the sheep violent or is the wolf the violent one? He wasn't teaching hate, he was teaching common sense. You know, somebody's knocking you over the head, stop them. Do whatever you have to do to stop them. You know, the ones that were knocking him over the head were afraid of the fact that he might swing back. So they said, no, he's teaching hate, he's violent.
Why is it more socially acceptable for women to hate men than it is for men to hate women?
Because men are the devil.
Ladies, let me remind you of something. You do not need a man.
Stop giving a fuck about what men find attractive.
I need to tell you something. Look, we don't need a fucking man.
And I'll tell you why I'm still single. Because my standards are, at this point, they're through the roof. Like, good luck meeting them.
Nobody told me to settle. I'm a catch. I know I'm a catch.
Stop settling for bare minimum ass men. Make him suffer.
Make them suffer.
Just give him a little bit of pain.
Do you need a reminder that men ain't
No, I don't have a boyfriend. Be like, why the are you asking that? You don't even know my name, you dumb
You're better off single with high standards.
I would rather be single.
I would rather be single.
I'd rather be alone.
I never want to deal with a man ever again.
Where are the men? What happened?
Guys, I don't like sharing my personal life, but these two crazy girls destroyed my lips, both of them.
Where did all the good men go?
Combination. This is actually the reason why I met my current girlfriend. Yeah, that's right. I have a girlfriend now.
Where are the men?
A complete lack of planning ends in total success.
Guys, you gotta leave the West.
Go where you're treated best.
Now we're going to be discussing and taking a look at a video coming out of FBE Capital, which I believe is very well put together. It's going to display and show you like various different women who are discussing and talking about men here in the society and where have they all gone. Now, my thing is this, right, is that most women don't understand and don't see or realize that they are one of the key components to developing a more strong and more profitable relationship here in the States. Now, if we were to change and alter our mindset on how we were to approach one another in conversation, I believe that we would be able to develop and change the trajectory as to where our relationship and the success of our marriages here in the States what direction they're going in. Now, in order to do this, we're going to have to start to develop a different mind frame of thinking when it comes to teaching some of the younger women and the younger generations on how important relationships are within, society, and how they continue to perpetuate or keep our society flowing and going. Not only in the society, but also our economy, our world economic format, everything that makes us a powerful nation is dealt and it's based on family structures. Now, my thing is that the more that we promote healthy family living, the better. But until then, passport bros and men would have to go somewhere where they feel more accepted, where they feel wanted, where they feel desired, where they feel like that they can be able to cut loose and have a decent time. Not only can you be able to spend a certain amount of money and don't have to worry about breaking the bank in other countries, but you're also able to find people there who are a little bit more open, a little bit more accepting, a little bit more willing to receive you when you meet them. Embarrassment in order to even approach them in conversation. Now, when it comes to certain things, of course, you got to have some sort of game. Like, you can't just think that you can approach a woman and not be on top of certain things and not have yourself together, at least. You know what I mean? Like, you got to have an understanding that, you have to increase your level of attractability. You know what I mean? So you can't approach a woman and you're like, what, 300-400 pounds, and you think that you're going to approach a woman and she's going to genuinely be interested in who you are. I don't care if it's here in the States or overseas. You gotta be taking care of you have to take care of yourself to a point to where it's like, at least you're an attractive person enough to where you have a great physique and you're taking good care of yourself, and that is obvious to be seen and understood. So that's one of the biggest things for sure. Me personally, I would never want to or have a desire to continue to date certain women within the States, and that, you learn how to identify them after you've dated them long enough, or you've made enough mistakes that you start to identify the ones that you want to steer clear from or stay away from. Ones who have this princess mentality or syndrome of wanting to be catered to as a woman rather than cater to her. You need to steer clear and stay away from them no matter where they're at in the world. You know what I mean? So if they're anywhere within the world, you need to stay away from them. I mean, just take a look at Fresh from Fresh and Fit, who's just recently knocked up one of the women who he's talking shit about every podcast, knocked her up, and now she's pregnant. She's with child, and it's supposedly his. So now, you want to steer clear from certain women like that. But like, if you do engage with them, you just got to know, like, you got to accept accountability. If something were to happen, if something were to pop up, you just got to accept it. You got to own it. You got to man up and say, okay, I made that mistake. Let me go ahead and do what I got to do to fix it, or do what I got to do to accept it for what it is and move forward. You know what I mean? Or else you'll wind up like him.
What's that? A man got to know who to date and who not to date. And what I mean by that is, if there's a woman, y'all listen very carefully, there's a woman that can bring violence out you or make you change who you are as a man, run from that woman.
Meanwhile,
I want the baby because I don't want to kill the baby. I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to.
You're not. They just give you a pill and then it's over.
No. I'm pregnant.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The pill, they just give it to you from a doctor and then you're good.
I am pregnant. I can't pretending like nothing happened. I can't. In my religion, we don't kill.
You're not killing.
Her culture might be against abortions, but definitely not them child support payments. Now, can we take this time out and dedicate some theme music for this situationship? DJ.
You let him hit it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you a single mom. You said you gon' have this kid. Don't care if he's here or not. But now you a single mom.
Okay.
I want to keep the baby.
He needs some milk.
Okay. Well, like I said, I just don't want any kids. You know?
Okay, so what you gonna do? And what you gonna do to me?
Nothing. Well, why did I do anything to you?
Nothing?
Why did I do anything to you?
No, I know. So, like, how are you gonna deal with this? By saying I don't want a baby? That's all?
I mean, if you go to the doctor, I guess.
My brother Walter, also known as Fresh, allow me to bless you from the book of King Bust a Nut, Asclepiation Scriptures of Hoology. It states, my brother, always wrap it before you clap it. Having premarital sex in Florida, especially Miami, without any condoms or protection is absolutely ludicrous. Fresh, I love you, brother. I love what you're doing on the podcast, but damn it, you literally knocked up the type of woman that you tell men to avoid on your podcast. You went against your principles, and not only that, you raw dog her, and not only that, your pull-out game is atrocious, and you creamed inside her like this.
I became a new creature at that moment.
So my thing is that just pay attention to who you are choosing. Pay attention to who you are dealing with on a day-to-day basis, who you choose to court, who you choose to talk to, who you choose to spend your money on, who you choose to spend your time with. Pay attention to all those things. Do you increase your percentage if you were to leave the United States and go overseas to find a woman? Yeah, I believe that your percentage does increase because you do have women who are more open to receiving you and accepting you. You know what I mean? Who's going to be a little bit more receptive when you try to approach them in conversation. Who's going to show a little bit more quid pro quo rather than, don't get it twisted. You still have to have a sense of wanting to approach a woman. You have to have a sense of, okay, I would like to approach her, or the confidence within yourself to say, hey, I would like to approach this woman and see where things go. You can't have this level of just shyness about you. You got to break out of that shell and actually allow yourself to be accepted. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. You traveling overseas and you're a shy person, you're a shy guy. You got to know like that right there will hinder you from having success with the right woman. If you're in a shell, if you can't really converse, and you have problems or issues there, you really need to start working on that. And then where else is better to work on it than here in the States? Because if you can get out of your shell, break out of your shell, and break out of shyness here, then you can definitely do it abroad. And you already know what you're aiming for, what you're looking for in a woman. And you know that the Western women here, if you feel like that they are just not it at all, then you're just practicing. What could you lose? You know what I mean? What could you lose? But you do have the world that you can gain from breaking out of your shell and doing what you got to do as a man. Like, honestly, tell you the truth. And I can only really speak from a male's perspective. Women are not difficult to talk to. They're not hard. You just need to show yourself to be friendly. You just need to show yourself to be the type of man who can approach a woman and actually hold and keep a conversation going with them. Yeah, you don't have to be the one who's going to be the entertainer. You know what I mean? So if a woman feels as though she's pulling you into a conversation because she wants you to entertain her, then she needs to be the one you need to walk away from her. Because if she can't sustain a conversation along with you and actually feed into a conversation with you as well, then she's not somebody that you want to deal with or talk to. She doesn't have enough personality to sustain a relationship. She'll get bored easy, things like that, because she's looking to be entertained. She's not looking to have to deal with conflict resolution issues or dealing with people on a long-term basis, you know, everything's short-term. Everything's going to be short with her because everything is just, you know, quick, you know, just quick interactions. You know what I mean? A lot of times it has a lot to deal with people who are watch a lot of TV, whose attention span is short. And you know how it is nowadays, the attention span of a TikTok mind, you know what I mean? Like, those aren't the type of women that you want to really deal with on a long-term basis. You know what I mean? Those are very short-term women because that's their mentality. Everything is now. Everything's quick. Everything's self-gratification as soon as possible, as quickly as possible. So you need to be very mindful of those things when approaching or conversating with a woman from another, you know, with a woman, you know. So, and it's not really difficult to talk to women. You just got to understand and learn how to communicate, how to be an effective communicator. You know what I mean? Like, it's not hard. It's something that may take practice for some. Others, it comes naturally, right? But if you're one of the ones who have to practice this type of thing, then of course you got to practice it no matter where you go. In order to go overseas, you got to practice this type of skill. You have to practice communication. You got to practice how to effectively communicate. It's not just as simple as, okay, I'm gonna be able to wake up, catch a flight, and go to a different country, and my whole world is gonna be different. No, you got to actually put the work in for yourself as well as keep yourself in great shape, right? So make sure that you're focused on these things instead of focused on the bottom line. The smaller picture is finding somebody who suits you and who is going to compliment you and where you're at in life. But the bigger picture is the self-development, the things that you would have to do to develop and grow for yourself. So once you do find somebody, you can find them and have a great conversation with them, hold a great conversation with them, and keep their attention, right? Now let's go ahead and get into the second part of this video, which I think you guys are going to find very interesting. Just the way that they handle themselves, carry themselves. Just pay attention to what's going on. I mean, pay attention to who's talking and how they're talking, what they're saying, and how they're saying it. Just pay close attention to and notice that there's going to be a pattern that's going to continue to grow. You're going to notice that certain people are saying certain things, and then you have others who are out just enjoying life. So that's the ultimate goal. You just want to enjoy your life. You know what I mean? You don't want to have issues and problems with certain things and individuals. You just want to go out and be able to enjoy yourself. So pay attention to this real quick. All right, we'll be right back.
That's right, guys. In the legendary words of Andrew Henderson from Nomad Capitalist, go where you are treated best. This is really what it all comes down to being a passport bro, and it's what so many of the haters fail to understand.
Passport bros are going to these other countries trying to find women who they can completely control.
They just want someone who's going to do what they say and do it without questioning.
A lot of the men I know that go overseas to find wives are not great dudes.
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, they're pervy.
Oh, you can just taste that sweet bitterness from them knowing that there are men out there who are happy to escape Western women. Please drop a like on the video if you think that women hating on passport bros is just pure jealousy, and comment down below what you think. Now you see, whenever women don't like something that men are doing, they always try to criminalize it. So for instance, when we say we like younger women, we're clearly talking about 21 and 24-year-olds, but modern women purposely try to turn that into something creepy.
And it's like you want younger women as well, so it's like that whole predator vibes.
Like sickening if you think about it.
How is that sickening?
Because it's romanticizing. Yeah.
And because 25-year-olds are way easier to manipulate and brainwash and
You see? And so the same thing is happening with the concept of passport bros, where Western women will pretend as if it's just about traveling to poor countries to exploit vulnerable women.
But passport bros do not want traditional wives. They want a cheap, good time.
That is not at all what's happening.
Wow, he's very ready, shining.
Family kind of vibes.
He looks so confused. He looks similar to that, but not quite.
Because what is happening is that men are finally figuring out that the West has become nothing more than a man-hating cesspool of trashy women who complain non-stop about having such high standards for men, but offering absolutely nothing in return.
You don't need to add value to his life. You don't need to prove your worth to him, okay?
The whole concept of unconditional love, take it and throw it in the trash. There is nothing that's unconditional when it comes to you, okay?
Here are some extreme red flags that I consider deal breakers when dating. And
Yeah, great. High standards, red flag, blah blah, we know the deal. Now, this is what that same girl is doing in the club. Yep, just look at those high standards. And here, she's just casually sipping some champagne. Very classy. And so, as a man in the West, you have to fight your way through all of the golems who think they are 10s and won't settle for less.
We're done settling for less.
I'm pretty certain that I told you I was a catch.
On a high quality man, then you need to have high standards.
And you have to defeat the feminazis with god-awful personalities who will never be satisfied even when a guy does everything they want.
Oh, he's a good guy, he opened the door for me. Oh, he's a good guy, he paid for our first date. Oh, he's a good guy because he texts me every morning. That's the bare minimum.
So last night I ended things with a guy that in one of my previous videos I had referred to as the most intentional man I've ever spoken to. He truly is amazing. It's a shame, but there's really nothing you can do. It's just the name of the game. All it takes is one, so we're back out here again.
So yeah, it's no wonder that so many guys are saying, "F that, I'm out." Since not only are there so many beautiful countries out there,
gotta be the best beach I've ever seen in my life. Jesus. Oh my god.
With absolutely gorgeous feminine women who actually like men, but being a passport bro is in fact much more than just finding a beautiful loyal girlfriend. It is about experiencing complete freedom from Western insanity.
What most people don't know though is that my dog, much like myself, was assigned male at birth. However, we are both girls.
People keep asking me what I want for Christmas, and honestly all I want is a chest that I can Velcro on and off.
I believe that every black woman on this planet should be entitled to financial compensation just for existence on this earth in this society.
Now I'll get into the tips and tricks of becoming a passport bro in a minute, but first I want to debunk a few more of the myths and fully break down why so many women in the West absolutely hate the concept of passport bros.
Well, f you. Go away. Go find your women wherever you want if you're not satisfied.
So first up is the myth that all passport bros are just fat loser men who can't get any dates in their home country.
The only women they'll be getting are the ones that they're paying for.
Y'all have to literally go to another country because no other woman in your own country wants you anymore.
Oh really? So you think that this dude is having trouble getting laid?
Hola, lo siento. I was nervous about one because she was very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. But we got a number.
Or this guy?
Natural. No steroids, no hormones.
Or that guy? It is absolutely idiotic to think that passport bros are only leaving the West because they can't get dates at home, since it's truly a mix of all sorts of guys, black guys, white guys. It truly doesn't matter. All that matters is that they are all done with Western mentality, Western dating, and they love to travel.
It took about 2 hours to get here on a bus and then about 4 different ferries, but we have arrived in paradise. Slight issue, a 26-hour bus taking us to the south to a city called Florianopolis.
Now it is ironic that the women who are criticizing the looks of passport bros are usually not the ones who look that great themselves, and they are simply hoping that it's only the ugly guys who are leaving, since these women are not getting approached at all, and their experiences in the dating market is getting worse by the minute.
It's just like people aren't coming up to me and I don't understand.
This culture of minimal interaction and non-committal consumption, this isn't working.
I really don't know what to do anymore. I have spent my whole life feeling unattractive and unwanted by men. I have tried decentering them, but the reality is I'm lonely. I want a partner.
Yeah, it's not looking great, is it? And so this brings us to why exactly modern women get so incredibly angry and frustrated when they hear about the concept of passport bros, since modern Western women really have nowhere else to go when it comes to dating.
Okay, so serious question. If we're not going on dating apps for dates, where are we meeting men?
Please tell me why you're finding your boyfriends.
You see, Western women don't want to be feminine or modest. They don't want to be kind or loyal.
I'm not exclusive with anyone I'm dating.
If you're a single woman, this is why you should always be rotational dating, aka dating 2 to 3 men at a time.
I can have like 5 boyfriends who all serve a different purpose in my life.
And they can't seem to shut up about how much they don't need a man.
We never hope to get approached. We hope we don't get approached.
We don't need men. We're hot, we're fun, we're having a great time.
And they don't want to do anything to please a man.
Y'all are being too nice to men, okay? You need to turn up the meanness that you had in your body.
So where the hell exactly are you going to market this lovely package? It is completely worthless. However, when we look to Western men, all that they want is a traditional feminine woman who is kind and loyal to them, which outside of the West, you can literally find anywhere else.
The region which I'm living in is called Krasnodar region. When I was 19 of age, I wanted to be enrolled in the universities.
Ah, what an angel. But yeah, in the West, modern women think they are a 10, look like a 5, and have a demand list that's a mile long.
I've never had a boyfriend, but what I do have is a 30-page list full of qualifications and standards.
Chivalry is very important, so if you're not opening every single car door for me.
Like, I want my man to love Jesus. Number 2, they don't want kids. I personally have never had a desire to have kids.
So here's my non-negotiable when it comes to dating men as someone who's been dating men for a couple of decades. A man needs to fundamentally believe that he is equal to me.
4, bigger than me. I am a 5'10" girly, so I always will prefer a at least 6'2" man because when I wear heels.
You must be significantly bigger than me. I like to feel small.
Okay, let's put that to the test, shall we? So they want a guy that's at least 6 foot tall. Well, great news. All of Scandinavia is filled with 6'2" and 6'4" dudes that come with chiseled jawlines and 6-pack abs. One problem though, their women look like this. So yeah, good luck convincing those men that you are a 10 and that they should bend over backwards to please your every need.
I'm a 10.
10.
I'm a 10. I think I'm a 10. I'm a 10, most definitely.
Sure you are. But an even bigger and more hilarious problem for Western women who love to cherry pick equality.
My first deal breaker, this is my favorite one, baby. It's something I will not do. 50-50, get somebody else. That is never gonna be me. It's never gonna happen.
I don't want a 50-50 relationship.
I'm not going 50-50 with no man.
Why I don't do 50-50.
And I have come to the realization that it is because even as a feminist, it is the only benefit women reap out of the patriarchy.
Oh really? The only benefit? How about the benefit of never having to go to jail when you actually kill someone? Or getting pregnant by a way too young individual? Yeah, I would say patriarchy is taking pretty good care of you right now. Anyways, back to the height requirement, because in the land of the ripped giants, true equality is practiced, which means that Scandinavian men will not do any of the chivalrous and traditional things that Western women want.
Who should pay on the first date?
In Sweden, maybe it's a little bit different. Yeah, equal rights.
Let's say if you are on a date with a woman and she is expecting that you're gonna pay.
I dislike the expectation of being forced to pay.
You go on that first date and the woman pays for you?
Yeah, it's fine for me.
Have you ever met a woman at a bar and said, "Let me get you a drink"?
I don't know. No, maybe not. I've been offered drinks.
Yeah. Good luck to Western women who already freak out when they hear that they occasionally have to go 50-50 on a date, because these type of women will absolutely lose their minds when dating in Scandinavia.
Buy someone a drink. That never happens here, and it always happens when I go on trips.
And you like that?
Yes.
A lot of men here call themselves feminists, and they don't want to seduce you or take the first step because they're afraid that you might have something against it.
I have to admit, I probably shy out many times.
The guy does not dare to make a mistake because it's such a sharp issue in Sweden. This is something that is not only in the culture, it's in the political agenda.
Yep, Scandinavian men have practically been neutered to the point that they find it offensive to be chivalrous, and that most of them do not do any of the traditional things when it comes to dating.
There was
3 guys that I spoke to on Tinder, and every guy I asked out, I was being like, oh, do you want to grab a beer? Like whatever, casual, like nothing.
I am sad to say this, but all my years here in Sweden, I've never been approached by a man.
But that's not where it ends, because in Scandinavia, a lot of women also make the first move.
And in dating, they often make the first move.
Do you have a girlfriend?
It's complicated.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
She's here.
She's right behind you.
Now on top of that, some will even go to sauna with a guy on the first date, where they will be completely naked.
Yeah, is it a nice first date? Yeah. I usually just go naked. Okay. On the first date? No, why not? Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. On the second date, I would do it, yes. Not the first. I don't know.
So yeah, when you put all of this together, Scandinavia is actually looking a lot more appealing to men than it does to women. And don't even think about coming to the Netherlands for a handsome, tall guy.
So Dutchmen are literally so attractive, stunning.
First of all, big one that's incredible that I love is that the average height here is like 6'2", 6'3".
Yes, Dutch men are tall. Yes, Dutch men are hot, but they will make you go 50-50, ladies. Do not be fooled.
Yes, we are pretty much the tallest guys on the planet. I am 6'2" myself, and I still feel short all the time. But going 50-50 on a date, that's child's play to us.
Yeah, we are just like individuals. So like you pay for your own stuff, you have your own money, so let's have a good time together, but then just split the bill. Because then we have even a better time together, because I don't need to pay for your drinks. And then the whole world is like, oh yeah, you're going Dutch, oh! Yeah, I think it's just, I think it's bullshit.
We Dutch guys have no problem with letting women pay the entire bill or make her make the first move. Or better yet, plan the entire date.
Like guys in the US will approach me. Guys here they don't often approach you, like they want you to approach them. Or if you're just texting and you have no plans of seeing me, like ask me out, like let's do something. That you might have incredible conversation but have one text each day.
Yeah, Western Europe is pretty much feminist hell when it comes to dating, because here they actually get what they asked for. Equality.
Okay, what about Norwegian? I know. They make you pay 50-50. Or we don't do that here. Yeah.
You know how you'd ask a boyfriend, is my outfit cute? And they're meant to say yes? Don't do that with the Dutch guy. They will straight out say, no, you look fat, you look ugly.
Just a trigger warning, if you've had cheap exes who made you pay for a lot and go 50-50, it will bring up like repressed trauma. What do you think about inviting a woman to a restaurant for the first date and paying for her?
Yeah, it could be.
You would do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you done that before?
No.
Now this all makes it hilariously obvious how extremely uninformed some of these passport bro haters are when it comes to dating abroad.
You think French women are going to sleep with you just because you showed up?
Yes, French women will sleep with you for just showing up. They are French. They have a very relaxed attitude towards kissing and sex when it comes to dating.
The way that we tolerate flirting and infidelity way more than in other cultures.
Which is also one of the reasons why you might not want to commit to a French girl.
But the thing is also, where it's a bit hypocritical, is French people cheat a lot. Not? Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, trust me, it's a lot. And there's other nonsense about only American women wanting to pay for dates.
American women are some of the only women who are actually sometimes offering to pay for the date.
What are you talking about? These types of modern women truly have AOC levels of stupid and have no idea what they are talking about. Because out of all Western countries, American women are actually the least likely willing to pay for dates, and they will demand the most from the men that they are dating. Anyways, we're gonna leave it here for now because there's so much more to debunk when it comes to passport bros, which I will cover in part 2 of this series later this week, so stay tuned for that. And for now, stay safe out there, guys.
Now, I really do think that there is a huge difference from how people are treated from country, and it varies from country to country. As you can see, people in Sweden and things, and men don't really do a whole lot. They typically will sit back and allow a woman to make the move, which I believe that men are truly the prize. They really are the ones who add a lot of value to a relationship. Now, not to say that women don't. I'm just saying that men typically do add more value than a woman. So, that's something that, has to always be considered. In the States here, of course, the dynamic of it is much different. So now for me here, me being in the U.S., I would have to pursue a woman to a point as to where I can court her, I can take her out, I can date her, things like that. But it's all geared toward her being catered to during that time. You know what I mean? And how how I can be able to show myself as being a worthy man for her, you know, as opposed to her showing how she could fit best in my life, how she can be a worthy woman for me. In fact, you got women who argue and have problems and strife about being that woman unless they are married, unless there's a ring on their finger. Like, no, it starts now. Like, you have to show me a reason why I gotta put a ring on your finger, or why I should take you on as a wife. You know, you should show me now, not later, not, you know, once, you know, you've actually reached the end goal. Now all of a sudden you're stepping up and being a wife, you know, or whatnot. That makes no sense at all. Like, what is the point of us even doing what we're doing unless we are taking an opportunity to prove to one another what position and what role we can play in each other's life? So my thing is that I always say is, you know, for a woman, like, who cares about what the man is doing and how he's performed? Always perform to your best ability, to where that man can never say that you were not a good woman to him, right? That you were not a decent woman, that he could not see a future with you. Like, you always provide the enough data for a man to say, you know what, I could see a future, I could see marriage with this woman, I could do, you know, not false data, not things that, okay, I'm just doing the bare minimum and this should be good enough. No, you know, you should be showing that that you're able to be consistent, that you're able to cook, you can clean, you know, that you're loyal, that you understand boundaries, that you understand, you know, emotional maturity, that you understand conflict resolution, and you operate within these skills, because these are important things that would make a long relationship. It speaks to longevity. You know what I mean? Like, if one thing about men, if we're going to commit to something, we want to commit to something that is worth committing to, not something that may be temporary because she might get bored later in life or whatever it may be. Really appreciate you guys joining us for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and follow us for more content like this. And then until next time, Warsheep Warriors, shalom.